Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everyone's got some exciting, fun plans for this weekend. And I am hoping I have nothing exciting going on this weekend. But we will see. So, update for today. Obviously, if you saw my other posts, Luke got a fever this morning around, well, I think he was starting to get a fever probably like 1 or 2. I don't know the exact time. It was like 99. And then when they really saw it hit, I think it was closer to 4, which was, I think it was 103 when they were like, oh crap. And so that's, when they kind of got things going. And when I was involved, we checked it again, and it was like 102.3, I think. It wasn't 103 anymore, but obviously really high fever. So they brought in, the whole team and got him on antibiotics, pulled all of his things, blood and urine and nose swab, and then they also attempted a spinal tap to get the spinal fluid, but when they did it, it hit a blood vein, and so they didn't really get much spinal fluid, and they mostly got blood. So then, that was early in the morning. After, probably by 6, I don't know exactly when, but the fever broke and it was gone. I don't know if they gave him Tylenol or not, but either way, he's not on Tylenol now and hasn't been most of the day, if at all, and fever's been gone. So, fever came and went pretty quickly, which was really great news. He is obviously on a bunch of antibiotics, but if they did it, they kicked it really fast. We still don't know what caused the fever. Could have been anything. The cultures for all the stuff take about 48 hours, so that's when we'll be pretty confident on what it was. They did a second spinal tap because the first one didn't work, and they ran into the same issue. Just getting blood, and so they were going to try a third one because they wanted to get the spinal fluid before all the antibiotics killed whatever's in there, just to see what it was. But then they noticed that his central line, his PICC line, had moved, or they were worried it had moved, so they had an x-ray done and validated that it had moved back, so it wasn't in a central line position anymore and was effectively just an IV, which means he can't take the TPN from that, which is what he's getting most of his nutrition from. So they had an emergency new line put in. This one's in his chest, not his arm, and it's a bigger line. And since he was going under anesthesia for that, they decided to use ultrasound to try to find, the way to do the spinal tap. And long story short, they got the new line in. Everything's good there, which was a good thing anyway, because the line that he had, while it worked, it was not doing very well for drawing blood, and they need to draw blood a lot. So by getting the new line, it's going to make it just easier to, give them the stuff and get the stuff that they need, pull the labs, especially as he goes through second round of chemos and things like that. So it's a good thing to have anyway. But they did an ultrasound and determined that there's just a whole bunch of blood vessels that are around the area that they normally would have done the spinal tap that are not normally there, and they think it's because of the tumor. That it's kind of, this tumor basically just needs to shrink in order for them to get it. So they haven't given us the official plan. They're going to talk to the infectious disease team, but I talked to the PA, and I think the plan is basically to treat him as if something was in his spinal fluid. They can't be quite as targeted as they would have been if they found out exactly what it was. But basically that just means he's going to be on antibiotics for a while. And it'll kill off whatever's going on. So we should be okay. Especially the fever's broken, so no one seems super concerned. I feel pretty good about it too. And now he has a new line, which is good for his chemos and blood draws and stuff. So kind of a crazy non-stop day. But I think we winded down, and I think he's in a good spot, and hopefully tonight will be quiet and he gets some sleep, and we'll have a couple days of rest over the weekend and everything, and relax before we get into his next round of chemo. So thank you everybody who was praying. Maybe that's why the fever broke so fast, so we appreciate it. And that's kind of what's going on so far, and hopefully tomorrow will be really boring. Well, I'll keep you guys updated. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later.